Prestige worldwide. Wide.
Prestige worldwide.
Prestige Worldwide welcomes you to the following presentation of the League of Extraordinary Dicks.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the League of Extraordinary Dicks podcast. And we are joined today by the one, the only, huge Hefner. It's Russ, everybody. Look at this guy. What's going on, buddy? And obviously, you know the other two that are here. We don't need to really go into depth of who they are, and everybody knows who I am. But we have a guest, our first guest. It took only the week, what, 6?
Can't wait. Glad to be here. Huge fan. Listen.
Well, we're excited to have you here, man. Real quick, before we get into everything, I just want to go over just a few key points. We're just going to kind of run through stuff. We're not going to really go into too great of detail with the matchups this week because we have a little bit of a change of itinerary because Mr. Alkire is here. So I'm just going to run over scores, and then I'm going to go over a few injuries, which I think Cody has that all wrapped up. And then we have one trade that I just want to really briefly talk about, which was the Kellen and Sarah. Sarah finally made a deal, which was unbelievable. It was Gabe Davis for T. Higgins. Anybody's thoughts on that one?
Drew, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I thought that it was an overall good trade. I think Kellen kind of wanted to get T. Higgins back from his championship team, and Sarah got a hot hand, so it's be an interesting trade.
Yeah, I think it is a pretty good trade. I see the benefit for both sides of it. At the time, Gabe Davis has been on an absolute tear. He had like 3 straight games with a touchdown. So that was a sell high candidate. And Kellen probably came out with a little bit better player in the long run. Even though T. Higgins is a little hurt, he hopes to get a little bit of that Cincinnati spark going on his team. But Gabe Davis is a huge target for Josh Allen, and he's spreading the ball around, and Gabe Davis is going to see plenty of action.
Russ, anything? You got something, buddy? What do you feel about it?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Sarah got a pretty good deal. Higgins banked up, obviously, but I think it's one of those to each their own. I don't think it's that big of a discrepancy. So I feel like Gabe Davis is worth that huge points. He's going to get at some of those long touchdowns, but Higgins obviously banged up most of the year, so Kellen's taking a chance. Might as well let it ride.
Yeah, and if anything, it's not bad depth, to be honest. In a league that's filled with a lot of teams that don't have a lot of depth. Really quickly, I'm just going to run through scores from last week, and then I'm going to throw it over to Cody with the injury report from this past week. As we mentioned, well, we didn't mention, we were talking about it off the air, but Player Haters beat Pina Cornflakes 92-84. Carolina Rain, the only undefeated team left in the league, beat Steel City 104-88. Dirty Skivvies falls to 4th and Schlong 100-87. That was an injury game. If those injuries didn't pile up, I don't know if that would have been the same outcome. Peeping Tomlinson's just laid the smackdown on Chicken Little Flea Flicker 118-92. Grizzly Adams Beards beats One-Eyed Monsters 118-65. And the last game that I have on here, Huge Hefner 115 over my dear friend, Happy Little TDs, Chris Bowen 106. 115-106. Those are the scores from last week. Anybody have any quick thoughts on any of those matchups?
We were talking about the game of the week.
Let's throw one.
We broke the streak of
Cody's team.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Drew.
His face.
I don't know what's going on. I think there's lagging going everywhere. I think he's lagging. So go ahead, Drew. I was just gonna say, I think Cody's team is going to ride or die by the Miami offense. And he's 6-0, but if something happens to Tyreek or Mostert, I don't know how far along Cody rolls anymore. That was my thought.
Well, he's not wrong. I am getting a lot of benefit from Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert. I was worried. I have been worried for weeks that Mostert was going to lose all that volume that he had been getting at the beginning of the season, but I got lucky. You never wish for injury, but I was the benefactor of a Devon Achane injury, so at least I'll be riding him for at least another week or two until Achane comes back.
Russ?
I'll say it. You got to feel for Bowen. Like, I don't know how many times it has to be said for this guy. I went into Monday night expecting to lose. Eckler back first game. Both offenses really good. Thought it'd be some points on the board. And then Bowen got Bowen. Like, I mean, no other way to put it. I don't know how this guy put up the fourth highest points this week, I'm pretty sure, and comes up short once again. So if it's not Shaq, it's Bowen. So I just don't know what to say. I feel for him.
Yeah, I got to stop picking him to win a game because I feel like I'm just cursing him every time I do it. But I love you, Bowen. I don't do it to be malicious or anything. It's just it's unfortunate the way it's been going for you. Go ahead, Cody. You got the injuries.
Yep. So for the week 6 injury, a lot of big time injuries this week. We'll start with quarterback Justin Fields, dislocated his thumb. He was trying to come back in the game, just couldn't get a good grip on the football. So hopefully it's not too long-term of injury. Trevor Lawrence also injured, had a knee injury. He left the game late, tried to come back, but he was unable to do so. Trying to think of any other big fantasy ones. Christian McCaffrey, obviously, he's probably the number one fantasy player right now. He is listed as day-to-day with a oblique/rib injury, so we'll keep an eye on that. That's even though Joe lost, McCaffrey was still able to get a pretty good contribution for Joe's team. Deebo Samuel had a shoulder injury on the first play of the game. That's something to keep an eye on. He's also listed as day-to-day, so the way Shanahan was talking, it sounds like he was able to avoid something pretty major. David Montgomery out. Let's see. He had a rib injury as well. He's listed as day-to-day. Kyron Williams had an ankle injury during the contest.
Yeah, David Montgomery went down.
Yep. And then, yeah, that's about it. All the other ones. I know Tyreek Hill had pulled up with a hammy, but it's honestly because he got tired of running all over the Panthers. So he needed to go get some IVs so he can feel a little bit better because he got tired of running so much. So, but other than that, those are going to be the big names to keep an eye on this week.
All right. With that being said, we left a good portion of time for a Q&A with our guest, Mr. Russ Alkire. Yes, we did. We got to talk to what are you, 3-time champ now?
You say a little louder for the people in the back, my friend.
We got some questions for you. I know Cody definitely does. Cody's got a few laid out for you that he wants to throw at you now. So
yeah, I just found a bunch of I thought funny internet questions just to get a little insight into what your mind is thinking. So the first one is, if there was a Russ Alkire world famous sandwich, what would be on that sandwich?
Ooh, that's a tough one, man. Because you know I love my condiments. I love my condiments. I'm gonna go. Give me a burger. I want some bacon on it, and I'm gonna create a condiment. It is gonna be called peanut ranch. We're gonna mix some ranch, a little bit of peanut butter.
Ooh.
No, I'm kidding.
I was about to say, I was like, okay.
Dude, I'm all about that burger. Give me a solid burger. Anything you want to put on it, fried egg, I'm on it. I'm here for it all.
That's what I'm talking about with the egg.
I got a question.
Xander,
I got one.
Yeah.
Do you ever get tired of being so damn good?
At what? A little more specific so I know what.
Anything and every at fantasy football, dude. I mean, come on. You dominated this league for God knows how long. It's got to be a little lonely at the top, isn't it?
Cody, am I over 500? Or am I sitting? Well, I might be one game over 500, right?
You are over 500.
Correct. So I don't know if that word dominating is the right word to use, as I sit at a 500 record. But
look, you've got championships to prove me wrong with that, though.
It's been a while. I haven't won since 2019.
Yep, I think so.
Coming from the group of guys have all won, I haven't done it.
Russ, quick question for you. Are you willing to change? Are you willing to change sides to make this league better by voting for me to be commissioner?
I realize it's only the campaign talk here. Well, as vice commit, I'm not sure I can do that. I feel like we have a great league. I feel like we are making this league great once again.
All right, he's Biden. Don't make him Trump. All right, come on now.
Would this persuade you?
No.
I
$1.
don't know, Drew. Who's going to be your vice commish?
Yeah, Drew. Who's your vice commish?
I don't know. Is it lagging?
Screen froze. Screen froze.
Oh.
Sorry. Awkward. So, Russ, next question.
No, wait. No. We're going to have to talk about this off air. I might actually make a trip out to your house tonight and slash your tires.
Yeah, please do.
But the wooden slash tires?
Yeah, I might flip-flop. I might go to Commissioner Luck's side.
That's fine. But, I guess, Russ, in all seriousness, do you feel you have the strongest division in the league or the second strongest in the league? Because I feel like I know who first in the division league is in our, but I just want to see your opinion.
Let's see. I'm curious to see what you think, because to me, I think that apparel division, top to bottom, I think Joe's team is stacked. I think Shaq is extremely underrated. Do not want to have to play him. Matt's team's there, and Sarah's proven herself each week as well. So, obviously, I think Team Sports is extremely strong. I think we have some pretty solid teams. Do I think we're top of the league? No. Do I think Team Sports is coming? Yes. Like, watch out. Obviously, Cody at the top. Zaino, like, man, your team is healthy. And when it fires on all cylinders, watch out. But I think me and Drew are in a battle for third and fourth right now. Matter of fact, I think we play each other this week. So
sure do. And I'm hurting.
It's all around. I think we're pretty. Each division pretty balanced, top to bottom. Obviously, there's been a few teams that might not have shown up quite like we expected, but I think pretty solid, balanced year this year. Cody's team, 130 points, it seems like, each week. Joe's solid team, obviously. So I think there's some top teams, but I think overall, pretty balanced.
Zaino, what do you think? Who's the toughest division?
Well, I'm probably going to side with Russ because I've been preaching Joe and Shaq all year. Those. I mean, Joe's team has been able to get the win. Shaq has unfortunately not been able to, but Shaq is, God, his team is scary, man. If they ever got all on the same page each week, Shaq's team is disgusting. It's just whether or not they want to show up. I think our division's pretty damn strong. Bowen, like Russ said earlier, fourth in scoring this week and lost, which is just horrible for him. But it's just like Bowen's team has got a nice combo of Hurts and Brown, and they run with it very well. So I do believe that Shaq's, what is that, apparel, right? that division's probably the top right now. I think we're definitely in the mix for that, but I still think Joe and Shaq's team, those were the two teams I picked coming out of the draft initially to be very good. And Joe's team has fortunately put up the numbers and been able to been, second in the league, where Shaq unfortunately hasn't been. But yeah, that's what I would go with.
Taking from a historical standpoint, apparel division absolutely destroys us. Everyone. Got Sarah with a championship, Shaq with a championship, Matt Douthit with a championship, and not only has Douthit got a championship, he's got like a 14-game lead on everyone else or something crazy like that in the all-time standings. Joe's been on a tear the last couple years. Sarah is always very quiet about the fact that she's in the top 5 all-time. So historically, apparel is very solid.
I will say, I think Team Sports got everybody else beat with the most princesses. Don't want to brag.
Yes,
but I think we do.
And I know Drew's flexing, but you need to give all the credit to old Chris Bowen there. So my next question is, what is your current guilty pleasure song that like you don't want people to know about? Like, did you listen to current?
I mean, hold on. Let me think about this. Dude, that's just one of them. It's one of those. It comes on, and I'm just like, let's go. Like, I'm not even turning it down at a stoplight. I'm okay with that.
In fact, it's roll the windows down and crank it up. And you go, that's right. That's right.
Drop the seat back a little bit, do that Detroit lean, and just let that volume crank.
All right, I got one. Russ, if the season were to end today, playoffs are set.
Okay. Who's
your winner and who's your princess?
Ooh. Winner. So I'm assuming I have to pick from the top 6. Top 6. So we're looking at, right now we've got Joe, we've got Cody, we've got me, we've got
Drew, Kellen, and there's I think Matt.
Brendan?
Oh.
Well, Brendan's
6.
got 2.
So it is.
Yeah. Well,
it's Cody, Joe, Drew, you, Kellen, and Brendan.
Time out.
You'd be 3. I was just reading 1 through 6, but that's what that is.
Correct. Honestly, no disrespect, Cody. I don't want to play Joe.
I don't either.
Not a chance do I want to play Joe. I'm getting lucky this week. I think 3/4 of Drew's team's on a bye. So that might be part of my saving grace, but I also don't want to line up against Drew either. So I'll take my chances playing Raheem Mostert in hopes that at some point he gets shut down. But Princess, I think it's too early to call. I think once you get past trade deadline, maybe. I think you can start to try and see some of those assumptions. But I'm not willing to say, hey, this is our princess. Obviously, there's some teams that have a higher percentage to make that happen than others. But I think it's way too early. We're talking what? We're week 7, week 6, 7. Just finished up week 6, so get past the trade deadline and then we'll see. Obviously, a lot of teams like to make some trades. Me being one of them. I don't think we round our teams out until about week 10. And then let's see what we got.
Drew, you were shaking your head. Why'd you shake your head?
No, I have a princess in mind, but yeah.
You keep that to yourself, or you're just gonna?
Well, no, I'm gonna keep it to myself.
All right then. A mystery page.
Russ, do you feel pleasure in waking up at 4:00 every Wednesday afternoon or morning to do waiver claims?
That is a great question.
Do Do you have an
Play
alarm
to
set
win
for
the
4?
game.
Do you have an alarm set for 4
I
a.m.?
do not. I'm just old. That's all it is. You play to win the game, though. I'm telling you.
I'm lucky if my son wakes me up at 4 so I can do that.
I'm still sitting at third on that waiver claim list, though. So it's worked.
While we're talking about it, I did not write this question down, but I think all of us were in the experimental group we tried last year. How did you guys like the fab budget? I don't think I ever really followed up on it. And for those of you listening, the fab budget is the free agent acquisition budget. And the way we did it, we did either $100 or $200. And the way this works is instead of there being a waiver priority, everybody bids a dollar amount on a player that they want. So if there was a really, sought after free agent after a big injury, you would bid a certain amount of money to try to get that. So the player goes to the highest bidder. So now that everybody knows what that is, what were your guys' thoughts on the fab budget?
And I'm just going to throw in real quick. That was just after waivers. So obviously after waivers went through, everybody becomes free agent. So at that point, it costs $0 to pick other people up.
Correct.
But I think it was interesting. Obviously, I think all of us had quite a bit of money left come the end of the season. I don't think any of us really understood kind of wagering throughout the year. But it's different. I can definitely see how teams could get themselves in trouble by blowing some money early and taking chances on who's the Arizona running back, DeMercado.
Yep.
That everybody thought was going to blow up. How many dollars would have got spent on him? Everybody thinking, oh man, this guy's going to take over for the next 4 weeks. Then the guy gets like 5 plays.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. You're taking some chances. Are you going to bid $5, $8, $21? Like, how much do you think you got to do? It'd be different, especially with this group having 12 people. So,
Drew, what did you think? Because you were in that league, and you and your brother were pretty active on the waiver wire, if I remember correctly.
I mean, I was just trying to play with it. I wasn't the biggest fan per se of it. Yeah, I was just playing. Like I said, I was just bidding, and like I think the problem is it's a blind bid, and I think that's the kind of thing that interests you. Is I think I'd rather see the bids and see if I want to bid more and like have it like just keep progressing until someone wants to stop to get this player, if it was my opinion. But I didn't like the blind bidding because
So
I mean it's almost
no, go ahead.
Like right now. No, it's almost like right now with waivers, but with just money. You're just throwing it out there and hoping you get it. And so I don't know. I just wasn't a big fan of it.
So like if you saw the bid, would it just be the bid, not who's bidding? It'd be anonymous, correct? So it would just be a dollar amount that you would see? Because, I mean, like, let's say me and Drew are going after the same guy.
I think that would be fair.
Yeah. Because if we did it and we were both going after the same person, we were playing each other that week, that could be disastrous for the way that waiver wire would work.
So I'm not entirely sure if I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not entirely sure that's a setting that you can do. That's coming from genuine stupidity. I just literally do not know how it works beyond that. But I try to keep us somewhat current or in line with what is like fantasy football, the standard, and the standard has gone to a fab budget. Some of the things that they talk about with a fab budget is what you're referring to, Zaino, with if you just saw a number. And just no team, but you just saw a number. There's a little bit of gamesmanship of driving the bid up so that other teams will burn their fab budget. I just know, the reason I wanted to toy with it is because Kellen he was not a fan of the waiver party. So I think I've got the number one priority in our league now. And I know Russ feels the same way, that I sit on that thing. Unless I absolutely have to burn it, I sit on that. So that anytime that there is a hot free agent to get or someone that's on the waiver wire, I will snap out. It's me every time. So that's what I did when I won my last championship. I sat on as long as I could, and that's what I'm doing this time. Kellen thinks it's a little unfair, in his opinion, so he proposed the fab budget so that everybody would have an equal shot at it. Which I understand the argument for. I'm not against that argument. And it's an interesting aspect, but not everyone's used to it. That's all.
Now, there was one thing that we did during that sleeper league that I actually did enjoy, but there's no way of really doing that unless we were on the internet. You know what I'm talking about. During the draft, the trading aspect of it. But I don't see that working well live compared to an online thing, because when it was online, it was pretty easy just to kind of click buttons and go, yep, that's what I'll do for this. But, I mean, live I don't think it would work. Live would be too messy, especially with all of us being intoxicated the way we usually are. So.
Yeah, and I'm just be honest, this is from a commissioner standpoint, that's going to be so difficult to keep up with manually that I don't even want to attempt to do that. So, Drew, you with us?
Nope.
Maybe.
Looks so grouchy.
He's still frozen.
I don't know why he's like that.
Oh, this is the first week we've ever had this problem.
Don't know.
And
oh, there he is. Maybe. You alive there, guy?
No, I'm hearing words now.
Sweet. All right, so I forget who asked that last question.
I have no idea. To be entirely honest with you. Russ, do you have questions for us? How about that? Let's turn this thing around a little bit. Let's see if Russ has any questions for us. Anybody on the panel?
Well, somebody
depends on what you offer.
No.
I don't know about you guys, but I fight this battle of I want to trade, but I want to trade versus do I need to trade? And right now, if I'm making a trade offer, it's so that I can better my team. Because I'm honestly in a position I don't need to take risks, but I would like to get I want Justin Jefferson bad, but Kellen's not going to give him up. Trust me, I've already gone down that one. So I don't know how that. I want to trade, but I can't.
Well, I'll tell you what I struggle with, and obviously I don't think everybody in this league has the same problem. As we've seen, there's some that throw some out there, but my biggest thing is I don't want to send a trade that somebody is going to look at that and be like, what the hell is this guy thinking? Because I think everybody has a different value inside their head. Some guys we value way too much, and because they're our guys, we get to pay attention to them week in, week out. We see the weeks they're having a great week, and other people may not see that. So I think what I struggle with is initiating that trade talk. I think once you're into that trade talk, you can go, but trying to initiate it and not offend somebody, that's where I struggle.
Yeah, I normally at this point in the season, I have already 2 or 3 trades under my belt. I've done one, and it was just a fluke coincidence that Drew and I even sat down and talked. Well, we didn't really sit down. We were just bullshitting, texting each other, and it ended up becoming something. I'm kind of in the same boat as Cody. I so badly want to make a deal, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I want to make moves just yet because I just now got my whole team back, and I'm not really sure what the magnitude of this team can end up being. And I don't want to jump the gun, and I've done that in years past, and I've told myself this year is going to be different. I'm going to be patient with it, but I'm starting to run out of patience because it's getting to the point where I'm going to have to start doing something to try to get myself in a position to win, but I feel like my team's strong enough to. It's just getting everybody on the same page, which is kind of the same song and dance Bowen's been singing all year. Everybody's on the same page for him, but he just keeps running into buzzsaws.
if I can interrupt for a minute, I think more of the question is on how trade etiquette. Like how do you start the conversation of having a trade?
Well, I don't know, because truthfully, there's a few people that I don't even entertain, and it's not just because I don't want to. It's just I just know the answer is no. Does that make sense? Like, I know even if I offered something, there's a good chance it's probably going to get shot down. So there's a few people that I don't actually shoot anything to. Now, a lot of times, like, I'm just going to put this out there because we all know that. We're all sitting here and we know Brendan. Brendan's not afraid to just throw you an offer. And I appreciate that. 99% of the time, it doesn't go anywhere, but it gets you talking about it. So Brendan has the idea of just, let me throw something out and let me see if it sticks. If it doesn't, then I'd move on. That's kind of Brendan's MO whenever it comes to trade talks. But he tries and does that. I just don't have it in me to kind of go out of my way because, like Russ said, I value my guys, and I don't want to make it look like it was a shit offer on my part to somebody else. So. Mm-hmm.
So when I propose a trade, I'm always looking at the viewpoint of I'm not even going to bother you if I don't feel like what I have to offer is going to help you, because I do want to try to make the trade even, within reason. Now, though, there are some trade offers that I've sent out there being like, I'm just going to see if he bites on it, but I still feel like I still feel like they've been respectful. Yeah, you have. You and Shaq both have. I still think they've been respectful and they've not been outlandish, but if you want to make the trade happen, you need to be the one that offer it. Don't come to me and be like, hey man, what do you want for, David Montgomery? Hey man, what do you want? Like, no. If you're coming to me and you want David Montgomery off my team, you need to make me an offer. I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. So
I agree with you. I just Drew and I's conversation just kind of manifested itself. So that one, I don't know if I'd really chalk that up to either him or I just kind of going and saying, well, I'll give you this and this for such and such. But, I've gotten quite a few asking about certain players on my roster, but I'm just iffy on pulling triggers on anything right now. To me, I don't want to make the wrong decision at this point. Does that make sense? Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I like my team a lot. I just don't want to make it worse. And not saying that my offers are bad. It's just I don't want to make the mistake of losing the guy that would potentially go off in the next 5 weeks, and actually could have helped me. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Well, I'm going to move on to another topic here. I was really curious about the fab and then the trade offers because, I mean, obviously that's relevant to the league. We have experimented with that in the fact, or past, and other people's suggestions. So I just wanted to see what you guys think. So Russ, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, this is going to sound really, really creepy. But I want to be invisible. But we talked about this before. Would you rather be invisible or would you rather fly? I would rather be invisible, I think. Man, how awesome would that be? Like, break away, drone.
If we're talking invisibility, you would be like naked all day, though.
You could wear clothes and still be invisible.
Yeah, who said you couldn't wear clothes?
Well, if you're invisible, if your body is invisible and you put a shirt on top of it, you're just going to be like,
that's your commissioner, guys.
I think we know.
We know when Cody's just sitting on that park bench and then he just all of a sudden becomes visible again. Everybody's like, oh shit, there's a guy that's naked on the park bench. Cody's like, really? Where is he at?
$20.
It's Cody.
Cody stands up and his ass sticks to whatever seat he's on. My man is not wearing pants. Guaranteed. But yeah, go ahead. Tell us, Cody.
Yeah, this is like a fake leather chair, so it is a little sweaty back here.
He's got swamp ass on the chair. That's gross.
Nah, I've always had this, like, if you have like an obscure, like not like totally like flying or something like that. I always thought it'd be cool if you could like have like be able to touch like a book and like absorb all the knowledge in it. Like to be like you'd be able to like read it just off a touch. And then like I just remember it. So it's like a super genius, super whatever power.
All right.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right.
Tell me you're a nerd without telling me you're a nerd.
No kidding.
I want to read books through my hand.
And you, I'm saying you probably take over the world doing shit like that. Zaino, you got a question?
No. No, good.
Russ, are boneless wings chicken nuggets?
Yeah.
You're talking to the man that eats only bone in, I feel like.
Yeah, I know. I will.
I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm a bone. I enjoy a good boneless wing, but give me some bone.
Two ways I'm feeling that one.
I bet you are, my man.
What are your thoughts, Drew?
I'd rather pay for not fighting a bone. So I'd rather just have a boneless wing. I'll eat a bone-in wing, but I'd rather not fight it if I don't have to.
I think what the question or what we're discussing here is: can you call a boneless wing a wing?
Oh no, it's just a chicken nugget.
Thank you.
It's just a nugget.
Just because you prefer boneless wings doesn't mean they're not great.
Yeah, that's like when I go to East Coast, I just get the tenders.
The tenders are delicious at East Coast. I do have one, and it's for the group.
Love it.
All right, you get to pick one. All-time favorite Super Bowl food.
Wings.
Buffalo chicken dip.
Just wings? Is that everybody's all-time favorite?
No, buffalo chicken dip.
Okay, Russ?
Man, give me something's got to have some barbecue sauce. Something had to have been on a grill, smoked, something.
Russ, I feel like, would have a nice rack of ribs.
I mean, keep talking, buddy.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
I mean, the real winner of Super Bowl food is, alcohol.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Russ, do you feel any added pressure being a 3-time champion to succeed each year, or do you have 3 championships and you're just like, well, I don't have to suck, this year because I already have 3?
No. So actually, coincidentally, leaving this year's draft, I felt like I hopped in the car and the first thing I told Katie was like, I feel like I got a shot. I was like, I feel like I got a shot. I said, I think this is the best team that I've drafted in a few years. And I was like, I want to win. Because it's one of those people kind of don't look at you the same after so many years of not bringing home that title. And it's one of those, I want to be one of those guys that it's like, oh yeah, I don't want to have to play Russ. I don't want to have to play Russ. And I felt that this year. And then I lost Dobbins, and I feel like I've been trying to play catch-up since. I don't have that third running back. And I'm not as excited about my team. But answer your question, yeah. I want to win. And I want to be that guy that nobody wants to play. You guys know what I feel, right? Well,
I haven't won a championship in 10 years. And, I lose by, 1 point something to you.
Okay.
In 2019. And then I was smoked everyone in the finals. So it sucks because I was that close. And now I was this close this past year. And it's brutal. It's a brutal feeling.
But that's the L.E.D, man. Because now you want to get back that much. You want to get back. You want to win that title because you know what it is. Well, some of us know what it is. And it's like, man, we're so close. And Zaino, you know I'm shooting shots at you this year because I am scared as hell of your team.
Yeah, just keep going, Russ. Just keep moving, man. About to blow a gasket over here. You don't know how badly I just want to make it out of the first round. Or even just make it to the playoffs. I'm the Cleveland. I might have to take a shot at Russ there, but I'm the Cleveland Browns of the L.E.D.
What, you
You
beat?
made it out of the first round one year.
Yeah.
Huh? Never get to the ship.
Round 1 year.
No, I never get to the ship.
Whoa.
Yeah, but you made it out of the first
Never
round.
made it to the ship.
We just beat the best team in the league. Thank you very much.
The Detroit Lions are the best team in the league. Rawr.
And you know why we won? Because of Michigan.
Because you guys did the boombox thing at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's what it was. You guys took their celebration at the beginning.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I want to win just so I can tie Russ, and then I want to win again so I can pass Russ.
I would like to just be included.
All right, gentlemen, we'll wrap up the question there. We're going to move on to a little trivia game here between Russ and Drew. Basically.
Oh yeah, I got a few for them too.
I have 5 questions, sir. I already have the 5 questions.
Well, yeah, I just got a couple more just to see what their knowledge is at.
Well, my 5 questions. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. I also have a tiebreaker prepared. Should we need to go to tiebreaker? So,
how do you go to tiebreaker in 5?
Because if both of you get all 5 correct, then you gotta go to tiebreaker.
Oh, okay.
But how's that work?
So, Russ, you are the guest, so you get to decide if you want to go first or second.
Oh, I'm going second.
All right. If you would be so kindly as to remove your headphones and make sure you can't hear, I'm going to ask Drew these questions.
Oh, that's how he's doing it. Okay.
Oh, I'm here now.
You want me to keep score of how many he gets right? Cody,
Sure,
you got it.
You can keep score. Now,
Gotcha.
I did add something to the podcast studio here. I want to see if it works. So, all right, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to answer these 5 questions. Just answer as many as you can. All right.
Okay.
All right.
You want me to wait? You want me to time them while you read them?
Yeah. If you would.
You got 30 seconds, just total 30 seconds.
I'm going to try something. I added something here to the podcast. We'll see if it works because I didn't have a chance to try it beforehand. But I'm going to ask you. So,
just tell me when to go.
Whenever if you hear this sound, go ahead and start. Okay. All right. And what is the newest NFL franchise?
Texans.
What is the name of the 2010 Seattle defense?
Legion of Boom.
Who is the Man of the Year trophy named after?
15.
Walter Payton.
How many divisions are in the NFL?
8.
One team plays in the state of New York. Who is it?
Buffalo.
You got 2 seconds left.
And he got all 5 correct. Was that?
So you had 28-38.
Was that like super loud to anyone?
I didn't hear anything.
That's okay.
I didn't hear anything.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So if you're going by time, do you want Drew's time was all 5 correct at 28-38.
Russ, you on now?
He's here. I just don't know how you're gonna get him.
Was that my cue?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
So, as I expected, Drew got all 5 right. That's why I picked Drew. As I expected him. So, I'm gonna ask you the same 5 questions. You'll have 30 seconds to answer. And you got to get all 5. If not, we're going to a tiebreaker.
Deal.
So you don't want the time. Okay.
Will somebody give me a heads up how much time I got?
Yeah, I'll let you know. I got the clock.
All right. Russ, are you ready?
You ready?
Okay.
Go.
All right, here we go. What is the newest NFL franchise?
Jacksonville Jaguars.
What is the name of the 2010 Seattle defense?
15 seconds.
No clue. Pass.
Who is the Man of the Year trophy named after?
Walter Payton?
How many divisions are in the NFL?
5 seconds.
6.
All right. So we only got through.
Give him the last one. Go ahead and give him the last one.
There's one team that plays in the state of New York. Who is it?
Buffalo?
Buffalo. You got 4 out of 5.
Russ.
Oh, he missed 2. That's right.
No, he got 2. He only got 2 right.
Oh, damn. He did only get 2 right. That's right.
He only got 2 right. Drew got all 5.
So,
I'm not surprised.
Zaino, tell him who the newest NFL franchise is.
Houston Texans.
That's who I was debating.
The name of the 2010 Seattle defense.
Legion of Boom.
Okay. All right.
You did get Man of the Year trophy. Is the Walter Payton Man of the Year trophy. There are 8 divisions in the NFL.
Yeah. After I said 6, I was like, man.
And honestly, the one I thought people would have to think about the most, you both got correct. Only one team plays in the state of New York, and that is the Buffalo Bills. Both the Jets and Giants are in New Jersey. So congratulations to Drew picking up the dub. That doesn't count towards your win.
Got one over us.
That's trivia. It's
It
trivia.
won't be this week.
So doesn't count towards the dub to your win total, but you're 1-0 on this podcast. I know that.
My man.
What was the tiebreaker question? I'm curious.
So I needed the tiebreaker question was I was going to have you list as many of the Super Bowl winners in order.
No, I'm out. You're not a champ.
Oh,
Well,
that'd be what?
Chiefs,
Rams,
Chiefs.
Chiefs, Rams,
I think
Tampa,
between the
Chiefs.
Patriots and the Chiefs. No.
Yeah.
Well, you
Throw Tampa in there a little bit.
so,
I think it was what? Chiefs, Rams, Tampa, Chiefs, New England, Philly, New England, and then I'm lost after that one.
Yep, you got all the way from 2020 to 2021 to 2015
Wow.
or 2016. I'm sorry, and the Broncos were next, then the Patriots, and then the Seahawks. So sounds like he had dominated the old tiebreaker too.
Oh, yeah.
So before we wrap things up tonight, gentlemen, we're going to pick a game of the week for next week. So Drew, looking at the week 7 matchups for the L.E.D, who do you think's got the best game of the week? Now, keep in mind, not everyone's roster is set. We've not processed waivers, but
I would love to say me and Russ, but I'm hurting with bye weeks, and Kyron Williams getting hurt does not help me at all. I think I'm gonna go upset alert. I'm gonna throw it out. I'm gonna throw a curveball in there. Okay, just throw it out there. I think upset alert. I'm gonna give Matt over Cody, and I think game of the week is going to be not points wise, but closest wise. Kellen versus Shaq.
let's see here. Zaino, who do you got?
I'm going to go with Drew on that. I'm going to say you're going to get upset. We don't need any more undefeated teams in the league. Also, I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. I think we all know where I'm going with this one, and I'm not going to say shit about it. I also do think what Drew said, I think Kellen, if he's not careful, can have a loss this week.
Russ, who you got?
Okay. Game of the week. I'm here. I'm all for Team Bowen. Like I'm hoping he can pull the upset this week. I want him to take down one of my Team Sports members. Bowen, I'm here for you. I agree. I do think Matt has a shot. Take it down, Cody. Nobody wants. What do you always preach, Commish? You want 30 within the league?
That's exactly right.
Let's chalk up an L. Let's take one for the team. Come on, Matty Ice. Let's go.
I am going to. Who am I going to go with? I think I'm going to go with Sarah and Zaino. Both teams need a win to get back on track. And right now,
Right.
Sarah's going through a little bit of a bye week. issue, so she's going to get her roster together, and I think it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, it'll be a real good one, Cody. Thanks. I try not to have my name thrown out there now. That's just juju. I feel like because I've been doing it to the old B word, it's going to come right back on me now.
All right.
All right. I think that's it, right? I think that's all we got. I think we're pretty much good. Russ, thank you so much for coming on. I do appreciate it, dude. Anytime you want to come by and you want to just shoot the shit or, hell, if you want to grab a matchup here and there and you want to talk about it, by all means, let us know.
Well, next time, I'll prepare myself a little bit better. Nobody told me there was going to be a quiz. I thought we were going to talk some football. I enjoyed it, though. I enjoyed it.
Russ has always had the mind of a steel trap. That's why he didn't need to be notified. He
didn't need to sharp. Make everybody else feel shorter than he is, so smaller than he is. But in all seriousness, thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. It's always a pleasure. Again, I'm just going to go over everything again. Trades, we won't talk about it until the next podcast. If it happens today and we just see it, we're not going to talk about it until it's falling through. We're not going to talk about it because don't want anybody getting swayed any way or another. If you want to join the podcast like Mr. Alkire did, shoot one of us a text. I mean, just it's that simple. And you just let us know if you want to come on. If you want to come on and just talk like we just talked to Russ, then by all means, let us know.
I got to admit, I would love to get Kellen on just because he's still riding that champion's high right now. I'm sure Kellen would be a lot of fun to have on.
Yeah, anybody. Hell, one of my messages I just got was from Brendan, so I might just ask him.
Dude, Brendan, he wants to come on shout out to Brendan. Brendan does listen to us every week. He does text us about it, so I'd love to have Brendan on as well so we can get inside the head of Mr. Florian.
Yeah. But if that's it, boys, it's always good seeing you. Until next time, see ya.
See ya.